Cheers to King Arthur. I'm 21, guys. Don't worry.
What is that, my love, my dearie? This young man, he died.
Hey, what's up, guys? Benji and Anthony here, and welcome to the bar for our featured review of
King Arthur, something of the sort. Came out tonight. It's directed by Guy Ritchie, and yeah, let's talk about it.
Yeah, let's get into it. First of all, I do want to say this movie's got a 25% on Rotten Tomatoes.
That's pretty shocking.
It is pretty shocking, and it's not because we're saying it's a great film. It's just that to give it that low of a score has to be pretty bad, and I don't agree with that at all. But I kind of know where it's coming from, and it's kind of coming from, in my opinion at least, from the older generation, the people that have read the book, probably the people that love the way the old school book is.
The lore.
Exactly, the lore of it, everything about it. Just because one of the things about this movie that you should know before, if you do decide to go watch it, is that it's modernized. It's modernized for the new millennium.
Yeah.
Like, it's not, like, you look at this and...
it's very fast-paced.
Yeah. It's very fast-paced movie, but you know what? We'll go into it as we go along. Let's talk about some of the actors, some of the sceneries. The main actor, King Arthur, is actually Charles Hunnam. Excuse me.
And he's from what
Sons
show?
of Anarchy. He's from Sons of Anarchy. He's came out also in Pacific Rim. He was the main character in that one.
Is that the one with the robots?
Yes, the one with the robots, with the kaijus and stuff like that.
Guillermo del Toro directed that, I
great
believe,
movie.
right?
Bad acting. It was a good film. He hasn't really done anything much besides that. I think he's done like maybe one or other two independent films.
Okay.
I think it came out in Freaks and Geeks as well.
No way.
Either that one or there was another one that got canceled back in the day where all the minor, like
the
all the
stars
actors
that became big.
becoming. That's where they started. Yeah, he did. I personally think he did a good job. He had a Scottish accent in an English area,
Yeah.
so it was a little weird. But it's kind of like, what's his name? Well, who cares? But he did a good job. He did a good job in being what the character was portrayed as. If I remember King Arthur from what I did read, he was kind of like a noble man. In this one, he's not. He's not that noble man. He plays the perfect douchebag.
Yeah,
in my opinion.
Actually, that was the surprising part for me.
Mm-hmm.
Like when we first saw this film, and I was just like, I don't know if they're doing it for the modern age or is it because it's a Guy Ritchie film. But I was just like, not.
Well, I think it was a hint of both, but it is a Guy Ritchie film, so he's doing a Sherlock thing. He did Sherlock. You do
that
feel like
style, right?
You do
that
feel
pattern.
that exactly. You do feel how Sherlock is. You feel how he was in. You feel how Sherlock was. Robert Downey Jr. was a douche in that one.
Yeah.
He kind of portrays it here too, and even some of the scenes are very copy and paste, in my opinion. It did feel like a Sherlock film. This movie did feel like it was a cut and paste of a lot of the films. I felt Lord of the Rings. I felt Game of Thrones. I felt Vikings. I felt.
I've
Sherlock
never
Holmes.
seen the show Viking, but I feel like I'm all caught up on all the seasons.
It looks exactly like it, and that's a little bit.
Even the actor, right?
Yeah,
I was like, wow, I thought it was a guy.
Well,
from
it's not the
Vikings.
same people from Vikings.
No,
but
it looks like it.
Yeah, but that's an issue for me because when you're copying too much, it can be a little disappointing. The one good thing about this movie, besides him doing the good job, is the actual costume design. The costume design looked amazing in this film. The scenery, the where they filmed, the areas they filmed, the
It feels like we're in that era.
It does really feel like that. Up to one point, which is Jude Law. He's actually King Arthur's uncle.
Yeah.
His clothing was a little weird. I don't want to spoil why it looks weird, but it doesn't look like it's part of the era. And a lot of
times,
times,
now that I think about it more, he was probably the weakest link in this film
because they didn't show him a lot.
And when he was on film, it felt like he was phoning it in at least.
Well, he's the protagonist.
Yeah.
No, I mean the antagonist. Sorry, the antagonist of the film.
Yeah.
He didn't feel like that's one sin that every movie does. I think ever is except Split. Split was amazing. The bad guy never gets the spotlight. Like, they never get it, and I don't understand why. Like, that's the big piece of the meat.
I think because they're trying to sell you King Arthur, so they're like, oh, we can focus.
It is because a lot of the posters and everything I've seen, it's only his face. It's all his face. It's all it is. He's very big on it. He was excited to do this film. But yeah, besides that, like, the CGI work, the actions, the parts, they were great. I think they were cool. CGI could be a little bit less shaky in certain parts. I did feel a little motion sickness in certain areas.
Right.
And it has to do with what we were talking about earlier, which was the fast pacing. This movie is very fast. This movie is very fast.
It's almost to a point where like you haven't finished digesting this scene because we're already on to the next scene.
Exactly.
And there's a pattern that he's doing in this film where like we're in the present, but we go to the future for 5 minutes and then we come back to the present. And I'm like,
it was something different. It was okay in certain parts. There were certain ones.
It worked in some areas.
I was like, ooh, I kind of want to see this fully, but it didn't do it. I don't know if it was a time constriction, which kind of is upsetting because it's a 2-hour movie.
Yeah.
Or it was a writing flaw because you told me, right?
There's 3 people wrote this. 3 people wrote this.
So I don't know if like they got each person to write one of like a scene.
And let's just put it together.
Yeah, it just felt a little off. And besides that, another thing is like a supporting cast wasn't there. Like there wasn't anybody I really cared about. There was like a couple characters like the mage and you know, King Arthur's right hand man and stuff like that. There was people that like passed away that you kind of wanted to care for, but you really didn't. And I that's the problem with it. It was enjoyable because of the action. I'm not gonna lie, it was great. Yeah. The action was amazing. It really kept me like, oh, that was pretty cool. That was pretty badass.
And you laugh. This is a funny film. It's an enjoyable film. But for me, the fact that they use modern dialogue in old times, because it looks so realistic, but then you throw in a modern joke, and I'm just like,
You kind of felt it too.
Yeah,
you kind of felt when that joke was
out of
coming.
place.
It felt out of place, but it also felt like, oh, here it comes. Oh, this is gonna come up. Oh, painted by colors.
Yeah,
numbers. And that's a problem. That's a problem because a lot of movies are doing that. Like a lot of movies are just kind of throwing punchlines at you to a point where you're like, okay, come on, keep it going. And that's where it got long. That's where it got boring. That's where it got to be like, okay, I get it. You know what? Like this guy's a douchebag. You don't have to remind me every couple scenes. You know. But overall, to give it a 25% is kind of a bad thing. I don't like that. I really disagree with a lot of them. Mm-hmm. It's not a movie that I personally would say go watch right away, but I would say, you know, if you're, you know, wanting to watch something, it's been out for a while, or maybe it's out on, you know, on TV or maybe Netflix, I do say watch it. It was enjoyable. He did a great job. I think he's still kind of coming up out of Sons of Anarchy like spotlight because everybody loves him, and that you look at this and you just don't see that. And I think he's trying to get out of that spotlight.
Something nobody told you.
So overall, I don't agree with Rotten Tomatoes. I don't agree with a lot of critics. Personally, I don't agree with any critic ever because it's not, to me, it's not part of what we're trying to do, which is kind of like just a casual perspective. A lot of times when they watch this, they analyze every single thing, and that's disappointing because sometimes you just want to know, should I watch it?
Have fun too,
exactly.
Right?
It's a fun movie, but because of some of the, you know, not so big supporting cast, because of some of the dialogue, because of some, you know, what really won me over was the fight scenes and some of the comedy. But besides that, there really wasn't much else. You know, they try to give it their all. They try to give it like the best acting they had, but you know, you only had one character that was doing that, and that's kind of sad. So because of that, I'm giving it a 6.
I'm also giving it a 6. I felt the fact that the dialogue being so modern and the jokes being kind of modern, it didn't fit with the theme. And also there's a lot of jump cuts. There's a lot of like, hey, what happened? I'm still thinking about what happened here, and we're already on this chapter, you know, 3 or 4 or 5. Mm-hmm. Just want to say something real funny. You could catch Ursula, you could catch a little Jawa and some Groot. There's a lot of little Easter eggs in there. Yeah. It's kind of funny. You'll see when
there's some things, because this is more of a fantasy. Yeah. This isn't more of a kind of like factual kind of, I don't know what that means. Like,
or like true to the material.
Yeah, like true to the material. This is more fantasy oriented. You know, we should have said that before.
Oh, and Modor from Lord of the Rings. You'll see that there too.
But yeah, overall, like it's just a movie that just wait on it, see if we can catch it later on.
Yeah.
But don't bag on it either. Don't bag on it to say that this movie was horrible. All right, guys, don't forget to hit that like button, and down below comment on if you've ever had a movie that you really loved that critics kind of panned on, that like that they just didn't like, or maybe you thought, whoa, where did that score come from? Let us know down below.
Don't forget to check us out on social media. We're really big on Instagram. We also post on Tumblr, Facebook, and Twitter.
Yeah, and also, guys, if you guys want to catch our other reviews or hub, remember to click on the side. There's links right there. And guys, don't forget to subscribe for more awesome videos. Have a good one.